Between the Outeniqua Mountains to the north and the Indian Ocean to the south lies the town of George. Popular musician and now padstal owner Elvis Blue decided to return to live here with his wife Cherise and their 2 daughters.
Hi there guys, welcome to my house. Come inside. My real name's not Elvis. My parents weren't that rock and roll. They went for Jan, which I'm quite proud of, but it's not that rock and roll. So this is when we actually built the house, was in 2015. And we made this little thing here. Jan, which is me, love Cherise, which is my beautiful wife. This is my wife. We've been staying here for about 6 years now.
I'll call him Jan, but when he doesn't listen, I scream at him, Elvis! And then he listens.
Yeah, when you hear Elvis, you know.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. We're living pretty central in George because we've got kids. We need to get them to school. But everything in George is kind of close to the mountain, not too far from the sea. And it's not really that far from work for us, which is nice for us.
Everything's quite close.
And we decided to live on a golf estate, nice open spaces for us, nice for the kids to play. We do have to duck for a few golf balls every now and then though. We've been married 16 years now. We met at church actually, about 3 years before that. And we've been staying here for 5 or 6 years. First we stayed in Joburg, but this has been a good move for us.
Yeah, we went to Joburg, back to George, back to Joburg, back to George.
Yeah, but we hope we can stay here for a long time. The thing they don't tell you about moving on to a golf course is that golfers seldomly hit the ball straight. And you often build your house in the wrong spot. Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C, D, E, F. It goes on, man.
His musical career has enjoyed hits of a different nature.
Really lucky here at my house to have this little space. When I was a kid, my mom was a piano teacher, so I always wanted a piano in my house when I'm a grown-up someday. And they tell me that I am a grown-up now. And so we got this piano. And this little space also became, during lockdown, like a stage, because these days you're only allowed to do shows via the internet. So you have to have your own little stage at home. And so this is pretty much where I would do most shows from, which was quite lekker and a bit strange at the same time. I think creatively it's been good for me. It's given me the opportunity to spend a lot more time with my kids. Some time writing. During lockdown, we actually made quite a fun music video, my family and I, just in the house with a camera and just us around the garden. So I released 2 songs during the last year, and I wrote quite a lot of songs. So in the coming year, I hope to release some new music as well. The best thing about you guys being here today is that my wife is actually going to listen to a song that I'm going to be doing. Normally, she's too busy for me, you know what I'm saying? Okay, liefie, jy moet nou mooi luister. Al sou ek 1000 vriende op my Facebook hê, wie weet wat hulle regtig van my sê. Gee my net 'n vriend, wat langs my sal staan. Gee my net 'n vriend, wat langs my sal staan.
I don't listen to any other music. I'm not a very music person, so I don't own any albums or any CDs. So if someone asks me what is your favorite song, it's always an Elvis song. So I'm a huge fan. Baie vroulik.
Yeah, the idea for the padstal, we were really lucky because we were planning this thing and then COVID happened and then it was already halfway planned and we'd already actually spent a little bit of money on it. And then we thought there's no way we could still do this. It would be crazy to start a new business during lockdown, wouldn't it? But then we couldn't stop thinking about it and we were like, no, we should start a business during lockdown. And it's such a special thing for us. It's on our logo, established during lockdown. This is my little coffee and beer space. Welcome to Elvis Brew, guys. Yeah, the name Elvis Brew is it's kind of corny if you think about it, because it rhymes with Elvis Blue, but sometimes those ideas just work. So for me, when I was a youngster, my dad always used to take me to the airport in Joburg. There was a roadhouse close by, and you could sit and watch the aircraft, and it was one of my favorite things. So I've always had this idea of maybe doing something similar. We found this little spot, and the dream kind of took shape from there to open a little padstal next to the airport in George. What makes a padstal special for me is that it's kind of real. You've got local produce, so it's not something you buy at a supermarket. So you're taking hands with local farmers, local coffee roasters, beer, cookies, tannies, wat pannenkoek maak. You know, that kind of real South African feeling next to the road. And what makes this spot special is the view over the Outeniqua Mountains, the aircraft landing right in front of you. And we just want to give people a classic lekker tyd. I must say, for me, since I was a very young boy, the only thing I've ever wanted to do was music. And it's quite tough for me to be an entrepreneur and to think as a business person and not just as a musician, but I really enjoy the challenge. All right, so here at Elvis Brew, it's all about the beer, the coffee, good vibes, lekker vibes with good people. But at the end of the day, I think we created this place just to give a good time to people along the road where they can stop, have a cup of coffee, have a smile, take a picture with a friend, and just gee jou lyf 'n lekker tyd, you know? Let's make us a cup of coffee. Let's make a flat white here. So I had to learn quite a lot starting a coffee business. I had to take hands with a local roaster, which we did, find a great roast for our coffee. It's a lot like making music, coffee, eh? You make people happy with coffee. Coffee brings people together, which is something that's quite special. Here we go. So a padstal isn't a padstal if you don't have a little bit of biltong. So we've got quite a lot of meat going. We've got some biltong, some droewors. So you meet interesting people along the way. When we were still in our little container with just the coffee machine, Stefan was one of our first clients, and he was quite serious about meat. Here we are, a few months later, and he's supplying all our meat. How about a little piece of biltong there? Come on, let's do it. Yes. One of the biggest perks about having a padstal is all the free food. Over the years, I've also been so lucky to have met a lot of winemakers. So we put in a little wine room with some of my favorite wines from these friends that I've met over the years. We're also making some gin. I don't know why they put this guy in there. Someone should let him out. Maybe on a Friday or Saturday night. I don't know. But okay, a lot of help from a lot of people along the way. And obviously my wife's creativity, which made the whole thing shine, which is really special. Seeing as CD sales are booming, guys, we thought we'd have a little bit of this guy, Elvis Blue. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work, but let's see if someone buys it. One of my favorite things about living in George is you've got the ocean on the one side, beautiful mountains on the other side. After a long day, I always just feel like grabbing the bike. We've got a nice cycle route called the Bruco Beast, which runs from the shop into the mountains and back, and then you get a free cup of coffee.
The landscape of the surrounding Outeniqua Mountains makes for a breathtakingly beautiful escape into nature.
I think of myself as not too old and quite fit. I try to exercise. I'm not crazy fit, but recently had a bit of a health scare. Never thought I'd get COVID badly, but yeah, it was actually, I got it and thought I'd be fine, but I ended up being really sick, so sick that I thought I wasn't actually going to make it. So for me, being out here and just being able to do something active, I just feel it's one of the greatest things you could do. And the whole experience has made me feel really lucky to still be here and to still be able to have my family. It's made me really appreciate times like this and being able to be active, and also just to have a beautiful family to come home to every night. Another thing this whole experience of COVID has taught me is I have absolutely no idea what my future holds. I've got lots of dreams still. Since I was a young boy, I only wanted to do music, and I still believe that's what I'm here to do. But now I also realize anything can happen. So whether it's a franchise business, whether it's coffee, whether I become a mountain climber, I have no idea, but let's just see where it all ends.
Gee my net 'n vriend, oh, wat langs my sal staan.
Get more of the Insider SA online. Follow, connect, engage, and be inspired to live better with the Insider SA. Watch the show Monday evenings at 5:30. Repeat Saturday at 1 on S3.